And good Sunday afternoon, everyone. This is John and Sean with Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. We are one day closer to the NFL season. Sean, how are you? And I believe we are at day 95 right now until the Thursday night opener.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? And the season's coming in close.
Yeah, it's coming quick. I was surprised the other day when I saw that you texted me that it was 100 days away. It feels like it's a lot longer than that. But that's just about just under 14 weeks away. So we're getting there. Summer's going to go by quick here. But yeah, some news this week in NFL free agency. But yeah, let me put that up on screen. But we still wait for some people to come in and watch. Um, Where'd it go here? Shoot, gotta share.
Jeez, you're
I
losing
I,
it all now.
I do this twice a week. I should know how to do my job.
One job.
One job. So let's look at some of the moves that happened this week. A lot of players retired. Ryan Fitzpatrick officially retires. Frank Gore signed I believe, what was a one-day deal to retire. 49er.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks retired. Alex Mack retires. Malcolm Jenkins retired, and Stephon Tuitt. Uh, Sean, your thoughts on any of the guys that retired?
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly shocked that Ryan Fitzpatrick retired because I figured he wanted to play with the 10th NFL team so he could play with 38% of the league, not 32% of the league. But more or less shocked that Brandon Brooks and Malcolm Jenkins both retired. I mean, they were both getting up there in age and both played a position that was like harder to play when you get older and you're beat up. Kind of the same with Alex Mack. I mean, only 13 years in the league and to retire finally. And then most shockingly, it was just Stephon Tuitt one. I didn't expect that to happen yet. I figured he still had a few years in him, and I think he was still under contract for like another 2 or 3. So I mean,
Oh wow.
I think maybe if he decides that it's not for him, then he could always come back later on.
And let's look at the offensive side of the balls. There were some signings. Albert Wilson signed with the Vikings. I believe he's a special teams player, right?
Yeah, we're probably gonna use him as a special teams player. Maybe whenever if someone goes down injured, kind of fit in for a wide receiver slot, but more or less kind of use him for more the punt and kick returns.
Cameron Batson signs with the Falcons. Juwan Green signs with the Titans, and Tavon Austin with the Bills. They'll probably try him out as a returner as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably so they don't have to worry about using like a main wide receiver or a main running back. Like you're kind of keeping them fresh, not worried about getting banged up on a punt or kick return. That would be
yeah,
the worst thing you want.
right. And then on the tight end side, David Ngoku signs a deal with the Browns. I think the Browns completely overpaid for him. They did have him on the franchise tag. But what are your thoughts there?
Oh, absolutely. They definitely did just because he's not worth the money they gave him. I think it was like what 80 million or something they gave him, like 40 of it was guaranteed right up front. It's just they could have probably paid and a lot less and got him to return or let him walk and go draft somebody next year when tight ends are in the draft again for the league.
I'm looking them up here. I was going to see if I can find that contract. Oh, it's in Joku. Let's see here. See if I can find that deal. 4-year deal, 56.75 extension, 28 guaranteed, and averages 14.18 per year. The
Yeah, and you
fit,
figure,
the
and he's
fifth. The
also,
Sorry, go ahead.
and you also figure he's under the franchise tag this year, which is what
Mhm.
14 or 15 million for that position.
Yeah, he's the fifth highest paid tight end in the league. But stats wise, he's definitely not.
He's top
He's not.
15 with
He's not even.
stats.
Yeah, I was going to say he's definitely not even top 10. So
Yeah, he's that 10th to 15th range in stats because he's definitely not anybody I would expect to go out there and be like, oh yeah, draft him first round fantasy.
yeah, definitely not. So let's move to the defensive side of the ball here. Like we said, Tuitt retired, but some of the other defensive players here: Akeem Hicks, John Kaminsky with the Lions, Jonathan Ballard with the Vikings. Hicks is the only player I know on that list by name. What can you tell us about Ballard from the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, he played with the Falcons last year, so I feel like he only signed a 1-year deal, so it's probably like a make or break kind of contract. Like if you do great, maybe return, but if not, then kind of he's gone then for good. Akeem Hicks going to the Browns or the Bucks. I mean, I think that's a good signing just for the fact that they can definitely use that help at the defensive end position in Tampa Bay, and him going from I think he was on the Bears last year to go to the Bucks. I feel like is a really good upgrade, especially from the fact that he's going to go from probably battling maybe long shot wild card to you're pretty much going to probably end up being in the playoffs.
Right. Agreed as well there. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Sorry about that, Sean. Defensive tackle, nobody signed. At linebacker, Tazar Skipper with the Steelers. Name's not too familiar to me. And cornerback, Fabian Moreau with the Texans. Another guy. A lot of these guys are either going to be just camp bodies or if they do make a team, will be practice squad players.
Yeah, I feel like they're more practice squad or the depth pieces that they could use maybe as like a third stringer. Like, all right, you can come out for like the special plays, like here and there. Maybe like special teams kind of use them on that, just because then they don't have to bang up their good players. They can use like a fourth, fifth stringer guy as a select position to come out and play that.
So let's keep looking here. Those were the signings and retirements this week. You also have lists here for the remaining free agents. Let me put it. We'll start with offense, but we'll go back. It sounds like there are teams talking to Cam Newton, but I don't know at this point. Unless an injury, he'll have to be a backup this year. Any of these guys will have to be a backup. But
yeah.
Your thoughts on Cam?
Yeah, I saw that. They pretty much Carolina told Nick they would sign him. He has to take a less role of money, and he's got to know he's coming into camp. He's not a guaranteed starter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could see him taking that deal just because he is loved and cherished in Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to just change this so you can see it a little bit better.
Well, I had him.
Nope.
I had him at that color just because the season's over for him.
So yeah, that's a shame. Getting injured during what he was just doing some warm ups or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was just getting ready to go out and start. He was going to show some of his off season building and all that he has grown since his last ACL injury to fans, teams, maybe if they checked in, and then he was live streaming it and his Achilles just popped. So horrible. I wouldn't be shocked if honestly he doesn't probably just call it a career, because to come back from an ACL and then your Achilles pops not even fully back yet, and you're not even healed from one injury, and now you just tore it in your other leg. So that's definitely not a injury I would want to have right there.
And Achilles, that's definitely going to take a year to rehab from that anyway. So, I mean, he's looking at this time again next year if he's 100%.
Yeah, to even attempt to come back and try to sign again. And from that point, what team's going to – at that point, people are going to have 2-3 running backs on a team, and they're not going to go out there signing him to a 2-3 year deal like he was probably going to be deserved if it wasn't for his injury last year.
Right. So, but look at some of the other guys I think are good, could be good depth pieces. A guy like David Johnson, Devontae Booker, Carlos Hyde, Latavius Murray. Your thoughts on some of these guys that are still available?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of good guys available there at the running back position for second, maybe third string, just to have as a piece on a team just in case injuries do happen. You have that piece that you can depend on. I mean, Latavius Murray on a team, he showed that when he was with the Saints that he could definitely go out there and he can carry the team and put the team on his back. So I wouldn't be shocked if someone doesn't go sign him soon. The same with Devontae Booker and I think David Johnson. They're all good enough to go out there and be able to carry a team to victory.
Gotcha. So let's keep looking here. Some players that were released: Jalen Samuels, AJ Rhodes. Names aren't familiar to me, so They were probably either practice squad players or just camp bodies there. Looking at the wide receivers, I'm still surprised some of these guys are free agents. I know he's got injury concerns, but Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., I'm surprised hasn't signed somewhere. I know he's going to miss at least half the season, but I'm surprised he's not trying to. If he's leaving the Rams, I'm surprised he's not signing somewhere to get the playbook and start learning the offense that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw this week there's rumors Allen Hurns worked out with the Vikings. Will Fuller worked out with the Browns. So that's some pieces there that could go to teams that could be used for depth. Like a Cole Beasley, honestly, with him and his whole the vaccine issue that he has and the back and forth he's had with the NFL, I'm not going to be shocked if he does not get signed and kind of just ends his career there, because the amount of fines he got last year and everything, and he can only play in select stadiums because of certain regulations in select states. So that could honestly force him to not get signed.
Yep, agreed. I have the USFL game on. Have you been keeping up to date with that? Philadelphia just marched down the field in 2 minutes to take a 7-0 lead.
No, I haven't been paying too much attention to it, just because when I do watch it, it's usually like that kind of like, they score once each in the first drive, and then it's like, all right, well, we'll take a halftime break for the next 3 quarters, and then we'll pick it up again and we'll start over again.
Yeah, I agreed there. I don't know. I was so excited for that league, and then it just kind of, I don't know. Maybe just because there's been too much going on doing the streaming, didn't have time to really follow it. But I don't know. I am excited that there's more football. Maybe there's no fans in the stands. That's part of it too.
Yeah, it definitely is a major concern there when you have nobody in a stands when you're watching football, and you see literally 2,000 people max maybe inside a college football stadium spread out. It's like, that's not good.
Yeah, so let's keep moving here. Sorry, got a little off topic there. I just happened to have the screen on. Some players released were Malik Williams, Travis Johnson, and Damon Damon Hazelton. Those names aren't familiar to me. But on the tight end side, still some depth pieces. Definitely not some of these guys, Jimmy Graham, Gronk, Kyle Rudolph. These were guys that were once the top-notch tight ends in the league, but definitely worth backups. Gronk could probably still be the starter there in Tampa Bay.
Oh, without a doubt. He could for sure be the starter in Tampa Bay. He could be a starter on any team, truthfully. I mean, the same kind of goes with, I think, Kyle Rudolph or Ebron or Graham. They could all be a starter on a select team or the right team. And then from there down, like the Jared Cook, Blake Jarwin, from there down, you're kind of that backup role. You're not really going to go out and be a starter. But you could shine on select moments and definitely either help carry a team or help with the overall of a team going forward at that position.
Yep. So let's keep looking. You got tackles here. Some names. Either these guys are waiting for an injury to happen, or will announce the retirements. But a guy like Solder still available. Bulaga, Eric Fisher, Riley Reif, Brandon Shell. So definitely some good players still available at the tackle position. And with some of these offensive lines in football, maybe they're just asking for too much money.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the tackle, guard, and center position, I mean, you got Soldier, Flowers, Treader, Duvernay, Tardif, Paradius, Brown. I mean, you got all those big name guys right there, and those top 2 in each position that are left still standing. And I mean, if they get signed to the right team, they could help carry a team forward with the running game. So I think it all comes down to is they want a certain amount of money and or select the length of deal, and that's definitely affecting them.
Yeah, agreed there. That's special teams. Rojas got released, but really nobody. Most teams have their kickers now, unless an injury happens there or if somebody's just completely trash in training camp and preseason. They'll probably have to be looking for jobs next year. But on the defensive side of the ball, still guys on like Jason Pierre-Paul, Carlos Dunlap, Ryan Kerrigan, Justin Houston, Trey Flowers. Once again, Everson Griffin, great depth pieces. To me, it's got to be a money issue.
Yeah, and I think you're going to start seeing them kind of coming off the board. Akeem Hicks just got signed at the position, so I feel like they're going to start to start seeing them go now on 1-year deals. They're just going to start signing 1-year deals, and they're going to get what they're worth now. And when the salary cap goes up again by a lot for next year, sign again somewhere. Mm-hmm. I could see that's what's going to end up being happening of what's going to go on with Pierre-Paul, Jackson, Nassib, Dunlap, Houston, all of them. And then looking over at the defensive tackle side of it, I mean, you got Goldman, Sue. I mean, Sue's a Super Bowl champion player. I mean, Sheldon Richardson's played the last, I think, 3 or 4 years on 1-year deals. You got Williams there that still could be on a team that could help carry the defensive tackle position with his strength, even Gerald McCoy. So all those players that are at that position, you definitely have a lot of pieces there that could definitely carry a defense. I'm not saying to a Super Bowl win, but you could definitely help with the youth of America coming into the league, kind of carry them, show them, all right, here's what you could do, help them. I know with Ndamukong Suh, he likes to wear the punter's pads for shoulder pads, therefore they can't grab them as easily. So like that's like something you could teach other people, like, all right, what do you do to help you not get tackled as easily and thrown down?
Right. So we'll keep an eye on that. Linebackers, Anthony Hitchens still available, Anthony Barr, Danny Trevathan. Man, I'm surprised some of these guys aren't signed. Anybody that sticks out to you at linebacker or cornerback that's not signed somewhere?
The linebacker, I mean, I see Hightower going back to New England. I see him signing like a 1-year deal, honestly, just to go back there. I mean, he got released from there. You're going to probably re-sign there just because of Bill Belichick. Anthony Barr, honestly, I could see him signing with one of the LA teams. He's from LA. So kind of maybe take like a lesser deal. I mean, he's injury prone, so that kind of hurts him. But when you look at the linebacker position, you got, in those first 2 columns there, you got at least 10 people that could guarantee to be either top 2 strings on any team. I mean, Schobert, McPhee, Collins, Bostic, Johnson, Wright, Klein, Barr, Trevathan. I mean, Malcolm Smith and Quan Alexander at the bottom even. They're all players that on a certain team, I mean, could definitely carry the linebacker position forward and be a starter even.
Agreed there. Let's see. Let's look at safeties. The guy that hasn't signed to me, that's a surprise, is Tart from San Francisco.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting at this point. You're kind of waiting for like the Landon Collins, just Tashawn Gibson to sign. The same with the cornerback position. You're waiting for Trey Waynes, Joe Hayden, Chris Harris to go out and sign, because then you know what the value is at the free agency when you hold out for this long now. You're kind of at that point, you're like, all right, well, what is our value really worth? What am I worth at the position? So I think really when you see 1 or 2 sign, like, all right, well, they're 1 year, $5 million deal. All right, well, then the lesser guy might be worth $1 million, $1 million, 1 year, $1 million. So right. I think that's kind of where it's going to come down to, is players getting signed at that kind of happening once the first big name guy goes.
Agreed. So, Sean, let's see here. We did safeties. Thank you for keeping track of all this. Some of these guys I've never even heard of. You know exactly where they came from and who they signed with.
Knowledge, bud. Knowledge. Got to start reading those books up on players.
So let's look at Twitter to see if there's anything happening there before we start looking at fantasy football stuff. Eagles tweeting about gun violence throughout the city.
Yeah, they wore orange on Thursday and Friday for gun violence, I saw.
Yeah, yep. We're not going to get into politics here on the stream. What will the fallout from superstar wide receiver relocations? Highlights. Ooh, yeah. What do you think about Adams going to Vegas? That's the biggest one that happened. I think they
I
went to
love it.
college together, right?
Love it. MVP numbers about to happen.
See, I don't think so. I'm the opposite of that. Now, I think Adams is still top tier wide receiver, fantasy wise and stat wise. But I think just because of all the other playmakers on that offense, his numbers will come down just a little. Not, still definitely top 5 wide receiver. But yeah, he's not the go-to guy in Green Bay. It was him or a running play. That's it.
Absolutely.
So Giants backup quarterback Davis Webb says Daniel Jones is the smartest quarterback he's ever been around.
He must not be that intelligent then.
Davis Webb, yeah. Davis Webb, I don't care. Quick hit thoughts, notes around the Patriots. Mac Jones' leadership hits another level. Good. That's his job as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
That's what happens when you're QB1.
Yep. Top questions at outside cornerback, tight end 3. I don't like the offseason the New England Patriots had.
No, they were fire sale last year, and this year they've been a dumpster fire.
Let's see here. Pittsburgh Steelers Miles Jack, a player I wanted the Jets to sign after he got released from Jacksonville, says he has never had a position coach like Brian Flores. Jack has been picking his brain early in OTAs. Well, stay healthy, young man, and good things will happen.
Absolutely.
Attorney for Browns, Deshaun Watson, said the Dolphins was the quarterback's top choice. Thoughts on that?
I don't think it would ever going to happen, just because the only reason I don't think he was going to go there is just because they already had everything locked down with Tua, and they weren't going to move Tua. So I just don't think that anything was going to go from there. And then seeing that the Niners are about to sign Deshaun Jackson, he would be a great fit, because then it means you could tell Debo, you want to be a running back or a wide receiver, because if we get a Deshaun Jackson, you might be able to just lock in as kind of a running back, kind of like Cordell Patterson's, change positions, and your career changes, and you're worth more as a running back than you are as a receiver.
Right, but the problem is a running back's length of play isn't as long. A good running back's going to last 4 to 6 years, where a good wide receiver is going to last 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, but I still think if him he's physically fit for being a receiver. If you switch to a running back, you're not going to really change it up, just because you're still getting hit just as hard, if not probably less of an impact at running back than you as a receiver, just because as a receiver, you're kind of getting cornerbacks and safeties are flying at you, where running back, you're kind of already either you're falling forward or getting ready to get fallen.
So let's keep looking here, see if there's any other news. Brown signed Dearness Johnson. I didn't see that on our list there, bud.
Yeah, he signed a contract saying he was going to sign. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and then the money value is just coming out now.
Oh, gotcha. Jimmy G, $26.9 million due in 2022 is reportedly a deterrent for the Panthers in a potential trade. Yeah, I'll actually look that up. What would you think? First off, Jimmy G with the 49ers. How good are the 49ers? How bad are they if they trade Jimmy G?
It depends what they would get. Maybe, can you imagine if the 49ers trade Jimmy G and they get CMC? Cap space.
But they don't need CMC.
They could, yeah, but they could use CMC because then they could trade Trey Sermon, their rookie running back from last year, maybe, and get some like a 3rd, 4th round pick maybe even for him. I mean, you got to think about it. CMC, if he was not injured, top 5 in the league. But if the Niners trade Jimmy G, what are you really going to get? You might get a 7th round pick. You might even have to eat his whole contract and get nothing.
So let's look at some of these cap numbers here for these teams.
The Browns cap number looks huge for the fact that they pretty much are fully guaranteeing every contract they sign.
Yeah, that's weird. Um, let's see here. 49ers. Were they towards the bottom of the list? Oh yeah, there they are. So
maybe that's why the Patriots aren't signing anybody either.
Yeah, they have less than $2 million. Where are the Panthers? Did I miss them?
They're at the top.
They're up here. So why wouldn't they take on that? If they need an upgrade at quarterback, why wouldn't they do that?
It's hard to say, honestly. They might just have too much money locked down at Sam Darnold already. You don't want to lock down another quarterback with Jimmy G at that much.
Right. I was checking posts. Maybe he'd have to be included in the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, he would definitely be going to San Francisco to be the backup then. Darnold's not going to be the starter in San Francisco.
Yeah, the Niners will definitely suck a lot more if they have Sam Darnold and Trey Lance at quarterbacks, just because they might win 4 games combined.
Right. Right. So McCaffrey, let's look at McCaffrey's deal. Let's see what he's got left here. We're going into the 22 season. But none of it's guaranteed.
Yeah, so if any team were to trade for him, they're going to end up doing is they're going to make that contract a fully guaranteed contract, and it'll get rid of the cap number.
Got you.
That's what I would assume.
So we'll see. That's way too much. I mean, he's still at that, man. He's 22. He's only 26 years old. Man, if he could stay healthy,
he'd be a great player.
Not only for my dynasty league team, but man, still a great player in the NFL. That crushed me last year. Both my starting running backs got hurt, and I still made the playoffs.
You still just got to draft like me. Draft nobody that you know, and you win the chip.
Let's go back to some of the news and rumors here. Denver Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson has a 5-year, $250 million asking price for a new deal with the team. Whoo, baby!
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. You don't think so?
Not gonna happen. He, at the age that he's at, you are not gonna get that kind of deal. No way.
Let's go to the Broncos and check out. Right now, they have $12 million in cap space for this year. He's being paid $24 million this year. How old is Russell? Before I click on his information, how old is
Russell? 32.
34.
Yeah, you're not getting that contract now when you've only won 1 Super Bowl.
Valuation. Yeah. So, I mean, right now he's only playing at a $35 million level. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but yeah, definitely not going to get $50 million per season.
Oh no.
At that, especially with that, like you said, at that age, and putting up those numbers. Here we go. Indianapolis Colts Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman Jr. are expected to be fantasy football studs in 2022, according to Sports Illustrated.
Nah, I don't see that happening. I just don't.
Out of the two, who's more likely? I say Pittman.
I see neither.
No, I said out of the two, who's more likely?
Neither.
Neither one of them is going to be a stud, huh?
Nope. I just don't see it, honestly. I honestly just don't see it happening. I don't believe Matt Ryan's going to go there and have a breakout year just because Jonathan Taylor's there. The touchdown ratios goes down when you think about it just because of having Taylor at running back. Every time inside this 5-10 yard line, you're going to end up handing the ball off to a running back like that. You're not going to go throwing it inside the red zone, especially with nowadays the defenses.
Yeah, so let's keep looking here. Lions cornerback Jeff Okudah is hungry to prove himself after
Okudah.
I think it's Okudah.
It's Okudah.
Okay. You're wrong again.
Do I got to teach you everything in life?
No, you're wrong.
Slap you silly.
Is hungry to prove himself after 2 injury-shortened seasons. I'm excited for the Lions this year. I know they're always a team that's down in the dumps. I'm really excited to watch some of their games this year.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be, honestly, a great year, especially because they keep building.
Yeah. In Las Vegas at the Von Miller Pass Rush Academy, great lessons being taught and learned. Some really talented vets and young stars in attendance. Yeah, here's a guy. Let's see here. Cowboys Zach Martin on Zeke's looking to prove himself again in 2022. He's a guy that used to be a first round pick. Now, depending on what size your league is, Zeke might not be picked in the first round.
Yeah, if he's still available in a fourth round of any draft, I'm taking him.
Yeah, gotcha.
All day. He shows his value regardless of who's the backup.
Let's see here. Lawsuit number 24 will be filed against Cleveland Browns cornerback Deshaun Watson on Monday. The NFL had also concluded investigation on the other 23.
It's just, I don't know,
Decision
that whole
coming
scenario.
soon. I honestly, I think they have to suspend them for the year. I know he didn't play last year, but I think they have to suspend them for the year.
I honestly, I don't even know what's going to come about that. They might suspend him for 2. The Cleveland Browns might end up signing him for a deal that might not expire until like 2029.
Yeah. Dumb. The Browns, that's still there, so it looks like we're just repeating stories now. So let's look at fantasy football mock draft. We've been doing these lately, changing up the teams, changing up the position we draft at. I do have our projections. Wonder if I go to the stream, go to chat. I know there's not many people here watching us. Let's see here. 2022 quarterback. If I put that in the chat, yes. Guys, take a look at that. Those are our quarterbacks. I don't think they're up to date at the moment. So I'll have to update those. But then that link will always download the latest
update.
Yeah. Let's see here. So let's look. Let's go back to the mock draft. Sean, how many teams would you like to do?
Yeah, we'll just keep it at 10 and then just hit random again, and we'll roll with what we got.
Fourth overall.
We're picking number 4, I guess, today.
Let's do this. I like doing two and two, but then doing one at a flex spot. So let's draft. 4. Yeah, that's not a bad spot. So Taylor, Eckler, and Henry. Those are the first 3 guys I see coming off the board as well. Maybe the only other guy I could see in that mix would be Cook instead of Eckler.
Yeah, I still see those 3 being on the board first, second, third, honestly. And if you have 4th overall pick and these are the guys you have available at positions, I'm going to be going with Dalvin Cook, just because Najee Harris, you're not really sure what kind of offense you're going to have.
Right.
CMC, you're not really sure what you're going to get with him in general, honestly. I mean, every year it just seems like he gets injured and it kind of backfires and it hurts overall to have him in a fantasy lineup.
So let's take Dalvin Cook there. I agree with you there. That would have been my pick as well. So let's see who comes off the board now. So let's go back and look. McCaffrey went, Swift, Najee, Cooper Kupp, Mixon, Aaron Jones in the first round. Thoughts on Aaron Jones in the first round?
Don't see that one happening.
Kamara with pick 2 in the second round, no, or pick 1 in the second round, no, definitely no. Kelsey, Andrews, wow, tight ends went back to back there early in the second. Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Akers at running back. So here we are in the second.
If I have this pick and he's still available right here in the second round at 7th overall, Devontae Adams all day. Mm-hmm. The guy puts up his numbers. He's going to do what he needs to do every day of the week, no matter what team he's on.
The worst spot he's been drafted at is 37.
I don't know how he made it that far.
Man, that's crazy.
I want to know where he made it that far.
Yeah, I don't know. So let's draft there. So good running back, good wide receiver to start our team. Go ahead.
Honestly, here, if he's still available, just because of the numbers he can put up, regardless of hoping that he plays the full year, I'm taking Deebo Samuel.
Debo with San Francisco.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you think there's any chance they trade him now, or do you think?
It's one of those you never know kind of scenarios.
And do you think he might hold out?
He could, but I just don't see him doing that just because he wants that contract. So he's not going to want to hold out and make himself look worse.
Yep. So let's take Debo there. So here we are in the 4th round. Here's our roster so far: Cook, Adams, and Samuel. So if that's how the draft was falling, where are you going in the 4th round?
Honestly, he's right there on the board. I'm going to take him right here. I want Josh Allen in the 4th round. It's early, but you can't go wrong with drafting him. And if you wait too long, he has so much value with the running game as well in his game that he puts up the numbers.
Agreed. So let's go Allen there. Quarterback. This means we really don't have to worry about a backup until so much later now. When you have that kind of but looking at our roster here, 7th round is looking to be an issue for our seventh week looks to be an issue for us.
Yeah, but we draft a better running back to go behind, and you fill that void right there. So let's look at the running back position and let's get a running back to fit there. Honestly, he's going to have a breakout year, I think, and he's coming back from an injury. I want Travis Etienne Jr. I think that he's going to be too good of a guy not to have this year. Honestly, I think he's worth to have the value.
And he's definitely going to be the starting back to start the year. So,
and he's going to be working with Trevor Lawrence, who he was in college with.
Yep. So Mahomes just went off the board. Okay. Our roster again definitely got our starting running backs, starting wide receivers, and our starting quarterback. So where are we going here? Are we going depth, or are we filling another
we go tight end here. We got to fill that tight end. We got to fill the tight end spot there, and he's still available. T.J. Hawkinson, just because of his size, and with Jared Goff, they were getting a connection last year before they got injured. And here, if it's me, I'm going to go with the guy that I think he's going to have a breakout year just because he's back with another college teammate, Marquise Brown. He's just going to have – I think he's going to put up great numbers, especially because DeAndre Hopkins isn't available until week 7.
Right. So let's go Brown there. Let's look at our roster here. So we filled up our skill positions here. So I assume let's start building some depth here.
Yep. Yeah. Let's look at the running back position. Let's get some depth going here. It's going to be a shock to you, but I think having him on a team is definitely worth having at the running back position. But I do like the guy down there at number 31, Tony Pollard. I really think that he's just if you depending on your league you're in, if you do have it that you can have the punt and kick return numbers up available for points, he's worth having just because if he does last year, I think he had 2 or 3 kick returns / punt returns, and with the yardage game he can get going especially if Zeke's out and down. Tony Pollard's a great depth piece to have for us, especially for a bye week. He's still going to put up, I guarantee you, 10 points without a doubt on even a bad week.
Gotcha. Even though he's the backup.
Even though he's a backup, he comes in the backfield and he gets all the catches thrown towards him.
So let's look at our team again and then see where we want to go with depth pieces here.
Yeah, I want to go wide receiver. He's available right there, and I'm going to grab him just because I want the duo of Josh Allen to receiver, Gabriel Davis. He put up the numbers last year in the postseason as a rookie. He's coming on strong.
Okay. So where do we go from here? Building a nice bench as well.
Let's go back up and get a backup tight end.
Backup tight end still here. Man.
And we're gonna get the guy right there ranked 8th overall. Dallas Goedert. Yeah. He's he's a machine, and the Eagles' offense is definitely gonna improve with him now this year.
And with that 7th-round bye, that really is not going to hurt us, just because we do have
Yeah, we
Hawkinson.
we have Hawkinson already, and then I mean we have our receivers and everything on a different bye week, but let's grab a backup quarterback here, just because it doesn't hurt to have. And while he's still available right here, you go with him right there, Kyler Murray. I mean, the fact that he's fallen that far, we have the duo with Davis and Allen, and we have Murray with Brown. So you could start either one of them any given week.
Yep. Agreed. So we're done at quarterback.
Yep.
We're done at tight end. So let's see. We're in round 12. So we don't have to worry about kicker and defense till 14. So where are we going here?
I think we go and get your boy right there, Allen Lazard.
Oops. Lazard.
I know you love him, so
there are rumblings, and I don't know who the NFC team is, but there are rumblings that the Jets are trying to trade Denzel Mims, who a couple of years ago was one of my favorite players, and I hope it's to the Green Bay Packers. I think that would be a great duo, Lazard and Mims. Mims has had a great offseason. He's bulked up, especially if he stays with us. They said he's definitely been having his head in the playbook. He's working out with Zach Wilson. So as much as I would hate to see him go, I hope it's to a team like Green Bay. I could root for him there.
With that being said, since we have a late 14th round pick, I actually would rather say let's grab our defense here so we get the top pick at a defense before everyone else goes and grabs them. And I would say let's grab up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yep. And do you go Tampa Bay just because we have
too many 7?
Still okay. I agree with you there. And I like that going around early on the defense, because you get the best one.
Absolutely.
So we could either look at running back. Let's see. Let's look at our team.
I would say we probably would need a backup running back just because we already have two backup receivers already.
Yeah. So.
And honestly, I would say I don't like any of those there. So let's see what else we have. Maybe grab a good depth piece that could definitely be a breakout player. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I was thinking right there. Just because if CMC goes down,
or if he gets traded, if CMC gets traded, Hubbard, I believe, becomes a starting back in Carolina.
Absolutely. And with that being said, our last pick is our kicker. Right there.
And for guy right on top of the board there.
I think this is going to be a C+ team just because they hate us.
Oh, man.
Called it. Done.
A C+ team just because they hate us. Bam, 79.
Told you. Called it from an hour away.
So let's look. I am logged in. I didn't pay for anything. So will it tell me projected standings?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 5th. If it's a 10-team league, they might only do 4 teams in the playoffs. But man, what do you think? We better than a 5th place team?
I think so. I mean, I like our bench team. I like our receiving. We have a bad running back crew. That's the only thing that's really bad. Right. They say there. But other than that, I think our team overall is in great hands. I think it could be definitely playoff contention, and you just need the right injury to fall your way.
Right. Agreed. There. I like what I like doing. I started looking at some of the team names. I don't know how they all auto-generate these names. Akers gonna fake. No Pain, no Gainwell. CD Burner. Judge Judy's. Stafford F-150. That should be Harold's name. Harold's probably not here today, but
yeah, I like the 2-2 train.
2-2 train. I just saw that one. That's good. So let's look here. We're about 45 minutes in here. Somebody's here watching. Thank you for being here, or thank you for lurking. Let's look here, Sean. Let's look at some of our projections at quarterback. I do feel about 90% comfortable with with my projections right now. The only thing that'll change will be when injuries happen during training camp and preseason.
Yeah.
These numbers will change, but let's look at the top five at each position here: Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Brady, and Prescott. Any of those top five don't belong in the top five, and who down here would take their place?
Yeah, my only one is Brady in there. I'm not sure if he's a top 5 quarterback this year. If I had to pick anybody, honestly, I'm probably going to pick Matt Stafford to jump up in there just because his numbers, his team all is coming back except Odell Beckham, which he only had him for 6 weeks last year.
Right.
So I just think that having
and he's not going to have, even if he does sign there, they're only going to have him for 6 or 7 weeks again.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I like Matt Stafford jumping in there.
And he's got a tough schedule, though. That's what these numbers over here on the right are. Fantasy points allowed against his opponents. Tough schedule.
I'm not worried about it. He won his championship. He's on top of the world. He's coming back, fire blazing, ready to go again.
That trade to the Rams was life-changing.
It really was.
Oh, that commercial, that AT&T commercial is one of the best commercials ever.
Yep. When you trade in your phone after 12 years and you go 1 year and you love it.
But let's look at our running backs here. Jonathan Taylor, Henry, Eckler. I have McCaffrey 4th and Cook 5th. Now, if McCaffrey's healthy, he's definitely top 5. But there's still a big question mark there for me.
Yeah, honestly. And if I'm going to pick anybody to jump up in there, DeAndre Swift over McCaffrey. From a far ways down, I think he can definitely make that jump and go inside the top 5 this year. He was putting up top 5 numbers last year in yards, touchdowns, everything until he got injured. I think he's going to come back stronger.
I got to look that up. That does Swift. That seems low to me. So I'll make sure my numbers are all matching up with him. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me look to see who might jump up on my end. Maybe a guy a little bit further down that could jump up into that 5 to 7 tier would be Cam Akers with the Rams.
Yeah, I think he has to have a great year.
Mm-hmm. So we will see. Let's move over to wide receivers. We have Kupp, Jefferson, Chase, Adams, and Diggs. See that even though I thought Adams every year would be number 1 to me. With Kupp breaking out last year, nobody had Cooper Kupp as the number 1 rated wide receiver going into the season.
Yeah, that's my top 5 right there overall. The only player I could see jumping inside the top 5, it's a very long shot, but I see it happening. Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks with Houston.
Yes,
why do you think him?
He's going to be healthy. Second year with David Mills. He's going to put up fire numbers. I think honestly he's fit to be him and Mills are a great duo to have.
Sean just said he sent me an email. Sean, you sent me an email?
I did earlier. Don't you pay attention?
I don't see one. Let me go. Did you send it to the business one or the personal one?
Business.
I do not see it.
Unacceptable.
Let me look. You sent it from yours or
yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, there it is. There's your email. Let's see if I actually have any. Nope, I don't have any from you. Let me check. Let me just check the personal just in case.
That's weird.
Let me just check. While I got this on here, let's move over to tight end. Oh, that's kicker.
Yeah, we don't talk about kickers.
Yes, we do. Kickers are people too.
We don't talk about kickers.
Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle, Waller, and Pitts are the top 5. Who shouldn't be there? And if they're not there, who's taking their place?
If Jimmy G is not the starting quarterback, George Kittle is not inside the top 5. Without a doubt, he's not inside the top 5. The player that would jump inside the top 5, Dallas Goedert. I think he's honestly going to have a great year. I just think that the numbers that he puts up is definitely going to be a big help for the Eagles offense. And the Eagles offense is going to be rolling this year, I think, honestly, just because of A.J. Brown going there.
So let's keep looking here. A lot of tough matchup. If you're looking here at the top, these I know you can't go by matchups, and these are based off of last year's numbers, so you never know what happens from year to year. But
Oh yeah,
definitely
everything could change.
tough matchups on paper.
Absolutely, and it's just I think honestly it's going to be a different year for fantasy numbers. I think just because everything's changing for the league and bigger numbers are happening.
So I don't have that. I don't know what's up with that. So kickers, I know on a weekly basis we stay away from kickers during our we do make projections, but they have been so wrong. But Bass, Gay, Carlson, Garibay, who's a rookie with Dallas, and Tucker with Baltimore. Tucker to me should be a little higher up on that list. But the guy to me that's missing in that list is McPherson. I'm not sure why I have him so low.
Yeah, it's an odd one.
I'll check into him as well. See why my numbers are down on him. But yeah, your thoughts on the top 5 here?
Yeah, I just think that you're missing McPherson. Honestly, I don't see the Dallas rookie jumping up there over top of Justin Tucker yet as well, and I think Butker's a little low as well for being up there.
Butker's a little low. Oh, still. Maybe it's because of the tough matchups. He does get drafted, average draft position. So right now, we have Gay ranked second, and most of the time he doesn't get drafted.
Yeah, which is shocking.
Yeah, but let's keep looking here. I believe defense is the only thing left. These are my, on paper, top defenses. Steelers, Bills, Rams, 49ers, and Saints. Not sure why Tampa Bay is so low. But if you look at the average draft position, it looks like they are the number 1 defense off the board.
Yeah, which is shocking if they're that low overall.
So, but any of the top 5 don't belong in the top 5. Steelers, Bills, Rams, 49ers, or Saints. Ooh, Saints.
I would say the Saints. I just don't see them having a great breakout defensive year.
So if that's the case, Tampa Bay for you would be the team that jumps up.
Yes, absolutely. Or the Chargers,
because the Chargers
are really low there for a defense that they built there this year.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say the Chargers as well. Before I scroll down, I already know who's last. Do you know who the last ranked defense is?
Houston Texans.
No, the New York Jets.
Damn. Technically, it's not.
Tied with the Falcons.
You lied to me.
Why?
Because you said they were the last place team. Technically, it's the Atlanta Falcons, too.
They're tied for last.
No, the ties don't count.
Ties don't count?
Ties don't count.
So, man, yeah, a little bit lower of a stream today. Usually the chat's a little bit more busy. Somebody's been here the whole time. So thank you for being here, lurking in the background. I'm going to put it up on screen. Sean, I don't know if you noticed this. Do you have the stream going as well?
I had it up in the background just to see see things.
I don't want to do that. That's the actual stream. I added it now so people get points while watching. Let's see here. Yep, you can see it here. I'll zoom in. Just for being here and hanging out, people get points. I will come up with some kind of rewards to cash in your points. Maybe I was able to get some Pure Adrenaline hats. Maybe we'll come up with a figure to cash those points in, reward the people for being here, participating. And
that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Frank is a dark boy who's usually always lurking in our streams. He's actually live streaming right now. That's why he's not here. He does this on his channel, so I figured out how to do it on ours. Definitely gives people something to do. Not only are you earning points, but then we'll find things to do to catch them in. Maybe get to so many and
absolutely
become a mod on the channel or a VIP on the channel, something like that.
We can definitely talk to figure something out for that for sure.
Yeah, so that's cool. So I know training camps are starting in
a few days.
Just under. Well, Actual training camps. They opened at the end of July, but OTAs are going on all summer long for the different teams, rookie OTAs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's been Myosin here. They subscribed or followed. They followed. That's what 300 points were for there. Streamlabs. It's not supposed to be tracking Streamlabs. Sean, you're on here as well. Actually, let me update it to see where our numbers are at. Of course, I'll be number one just because. So yeah, we're up to 11 now. So people have been coming and going. But yeah. thanks for people who are watching. I'm sorry. Usually it is, Sean. Usually we have some interaction in the chat. Today's just seems to be a quiet day.
Yeah, but hey, it's all right. We'll keep it quiet for today, and then we'll have hopefully a good one Thursday.
Yeah, maybe people are playing Fortnite. Fortnite was down from about 3:00 yesterday afternoon to 3:00 this morning for the new update. So maybe people are getting their fixes in. That's a long time to go. I know I was a little disappointed that it was down for that long, but that's because the new update came out. So that's what I'll be doing today while I watch the race, Sean.
There you go.
You should hop on. You should hop on and play.
I'm gonna have to pass. I got things I can get done.
So we did another mock draft here. 79 this time. Is that our best one?
I think we were in the 80s once, but that they might have liked us that day. They hate us now.
They hate us now. So, and we're not. I would say they're probably going by their projections and rankings, which we're not doing. We're not going by their projections and rankings. I should do that. Let's do that real quick. I know we're right here at the top of the hour, but I'm just gonna mock again. Let's do the same thing. Where do you want to go this time?
You can hit random.
And we're going to take the best person. It says fourth again, so we'll stay there.
We're going with it.
We'll take the best player that they say to take. They give a percentage here. And that's who we'll take to see what.
I mean, Eckler is still available. You definitely go with him.
Right.
I'm fine with going with Adams there.
So I'm fine with Adams there too. Those would have been our two picks anyway. So here it's telling us to take Aaron Jones, so we'll do that.
We'll roll with it.
I mean, if this was you here, let's look at our roster. Eckler and Adams. Where would you have gone here in the third round? I probably would have went Keenan Allen.
Hey, let's go with the top percentage. Let's see what they give us there if we do listen to experts. I'd like to see where they tell us to go with the picks and everything.
So DJ Moore. Oh, that would not have been my pick there.
Hey, but you're gonna get your favorite player right there.
Hey, well, he would have been my pick. The last pick. So let's look, man. Sean, this is gonna be an A+ draft, bud.
No, we're gonna get like a C- now. They hate us.
Cortland Sutton.
Hey, let's roll with it. Don't even question it anymore.
I know, but I'm just giving a little. I would take Mike Williams here, or Hollywood Brown. If this was your options, would you take Sutton?
Hey, if it was me, I wouldn't. But hey, we're gonna listen to the experts today.
Oh man, Mooney. Oh man,
we got a lot of wide receivers.
Yep.
Might want to change over because we need running backs at this point.
Too bad. They're telling us who to take here, bud.
All right. That works for me. We're not going to have no running backs.
Well, Damian Harris.
Oh, we're drafting a tight end now, finally.
And we're getting Hawkinson.
This is definitely D+ now. We don't even have a quarterback yet other than Herbert. We're going back-to-back tight ends.
When you have Herbert, you don't need a...
Hey, we're going to go back-to-back tight ends.
Hey, whatever.
We're going to get A-Rod.
We're going to get A-Rod to be our backup quarterback. Well, you were complaining we didn't have a quarterback, so they're telling us to take Indianapolis here.
Roll with it.
All right, before we make our final pick, what's our grade, Sean?
Oh, D-.
D-?
It might even be an F.
We're definitely getting a B. Maybe
We're
an
getting
A
an F.
minus.
We're getting an F.
Maybe an A minus. Oh, an A plus.
There's no way. No way.
Well, first off, look, Herbert and Eckler, Jones.
There's no way that's an A+ team.
Not bad.
When it falls off right there, Sutton, Mooney, Robinson, Harris, Gordon, Ertz, when those guys don't even play for half a year.
Oh man.
I don't trust that. That's wrong. Oh my God, that was just like the worst draft we've ever done in 5 minutes, and it was the best team we've ever had in our life.
Yep. 97. 97. No, this team is not a 97.
Yeah, wrong.
If this was our starting team, though, let's look. Herbert, Eckler, and
If it was our starting team, I'd like it. And the bench team, we're picking up a whole new bench on free agents.
I don't like Jones. I think we could have done better at depth at the second running back position. But yeah, I don't like our bench at all. Mooney, Robinson, Harris, Gordon, all back. Well, Damon Harris, he's definitely splitting carries. Gordon's splitting carries. Ertz as a backup isn't bad, and Rodgers as a backup isn't bad.
Yeah, absolutely. But then there's some of them that it's like you're really questioning on what the hell is going on.
So, yep. So that's another one. The experts say A+, just because we took the guy they said to take.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, agreed. I don't like it either. So, Sean, I know we're at the hour here. I didn't get your photo, so we'll go into this. Let you talk again on Thursday about it. But you went to the softball game yesterday.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot of fun, and I would do it again for next year if they bring it back again to the area, and definitely go back and do it all over again.
Yeah, that's cool. So we'll figure out why I didn't get that email. We'll show those pictures on Thursday, let you talk a little bit more about the game.
Yeah, no problem.
Itself. Guys, this we do live stream every Sunday at noon Eastern, Thursdays at 7. We know it's summertime, so people are doing other things. But sometime here in July, late July and August, fantasy football season will ramp up. So we'll definitely be doing more of that as well. So Sean, any final words?
Yeah, just we'll see everybody on Thursday, and enjoy your Sunday before everyone goes back to work tomorrow.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
All right, see you guys.